African Union Communications, Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation as of June 24, 2026. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue the special military operation. As a result of intensive actions, units of the North Group of Forces established control over the settlement of Ivolzhanskoye in the Sumy region. Strikes were delivered at manpower and hardware of 2 territorial defense brigades close to Tolstodubovo, Bachevsk, Krasnopolye, and Lesnoye in the Sumy region. In the Kharkov region, strikes were delivered at formations of 3 mechanized brigades, 2 motorized infantry brigades of the armed forces of Ukraine, and 2 territorial defense brigades close to Rubezhnoye, Izbitskoye, Kazachiya Lopan, Kolodeznoye, Vodyanoye, Makarovo, Olkhovatka, and Sosnovy Bor in the Kharkov region. The enemy has lost more than 215 troops, 5 motor vehicles, an artillery gun, a US-made BRAWLR anti-aircraft missile system, and a radar station. The West Group of Forces took more advantageous lines and positions. Strikes were delivered at manpower and hardware of 2 mechanized brigades, an assault brigade, a guard brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine General Staff, and 2 Marine brigades close to Olkhovatka, Izbitskoye, Stetskovka, Gusinka, Selishche, Nizhnaya Zhuravka, Staroverovka in the Kharkov region, and Volchy Yar in the Donetsk People's Republic. In Krasny Lyman, in the Donetsk People's Republic, assault detachments of the 25th Army continue to destroy scattered units of the armed forces of Ukraine. Units of the 67th Motorized Rifle Division seized 5 enemy strongholds and 43 buildings in a western direction. Russian troops completed destruction of Ukrainian militants of the 120th Territorial Defense Brigade, which was blocked in the northwestern part of the city. In the past 24 hours, up to 30 militants, a pickup truck, 2 ATVs, 4 remote-controlled robotic systems, and 9 UAV command posts have been neutralized. In total, more than 210 troops, 2 armored vehicles, 15 pickup trucks, and an artillery gun were neutralized by the West Group's zone of responsibility. The South Group's units improved the situation along the front line. They inflicted fire damage on 5 mechanized brigades, a mountain assault brigade, an airmobile brigade, an assault brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and a Marine brigade have been hit near Alexeyevo-Drushkovka, Nikolai Pol, Nikolayevka, and Kramatorsk in the Donetsk People's Republic. In Konstantinovka in the Donetsk People's Republic, assault detachments of the South Group of Forces continued an offensive in the southwestern part of the settlement to destroy scattered groups of the enemy and single fighters. Over the past 24 hours, 114 buildings have been liberated. The armed forces of Ukraine losses amounted to up to 30 troops, an armored vehicle, 13 motor vehicles, 2 ATVs, 3 artillery guns, 21 ground-based robotic systems, and 21 UAV command posts. In total, the enemy lost up to 205 troops, 2 Kazakh armored fighting vehicles, 18 motor vehicles, 5 field artillery guns, and an electronic warfare station in the Yuzhnaya Group's area of responsibility. The Center Group's units improved the tactical situation. In addition, strikes were delivered at manpower and hardware of 4 mechanized brigades, an assault brigade, an airborne brigade, a UAV brigade, an assault regiment of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Marine brigade, 4 National Guard brigades, a territorial defense brigade, and the Azov brigade close to Dobropolye, Zolotoy Kolodeznoye, Svetloye, Sergeyevka, Veseloye, Ivanovka, Novovodyanoye, Gruzskoye in the Donetsk People's Republic, Novotroitskoye, and Novopavlovka in the Dnipropetrovsk region. The armed forces of Ukraine losses amounted to more than 310 troops, an armored fighting vehicle, 6 motor vehicles, 2 artillery guns, and 2 electronic warfare stations. The East Group's units continued to advance to the depths of the enemy's defense. Losses were inflicted on manpower and hardware of 3 mechanized brigades, 4 air assault brigades, 2 assault brigades, a UAV battalion, 3 assault regiments of the armed forces of Ukraine, and a marine brigade close to Alexandrovka, Gavrilovka, Podgavrilovka, Dibrova, Prosyanaya, Ivanovka, Malinovka, Malomikhailovka, and Pokrovka in the Dnipropetrovsk region. The enemy lost up to 465 troops, an armored fighting vehicle, a field artillery gun, and 8 motor vehicles. The Dnepr Group's units inflicted fire damage on a heavy mechanized brigade of the armed forces of Ukraine near Malokatarinovka in the Zaporozhye region and Novo-Alexandrovka in the Kherson region. Up to 50 troops, a U.S.-made HIMARS MLRS launcher, 6 motor vehicles, and 3 electronic warfare stations of the armed forces of Ukraine were neutralized. Operational tactical aviation, attack drones, missile troops, and artillery of the Russian groups of forces have inflicted damage on the center of unmanned systems of the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, fuel power and transport infrastructure facilities of Ukraine, ammunition and fuel depots used by the Armed Forces of Ukraine, production and storage facilities of long-range unmanned aerial vehicles, their takeoff points, temporary deployment points of Ukrainian armed forces and foreign mercenaries in 143 areas. Air defense systems shot down 14 guided aerial bombs and 584 fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles.
In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the enemy has lost 671 aircraft, 284 helicopters, 168,090 unmanned aerial vehicles, 663 anti-aircraft missile systems, 29,886 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,747 MLRS combat vehicles, 35,479 field artillery guns and mortars, 64,790 special military vehicles.
Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.